Well, if you check the internet for apartments to rent, you can tell that the cost of, rent are very exorbitant. Just look at this one, 4,500 cedis monthly for a chamber and hall. This is also going for 4,000 cedis a month for chamber and hall. But what really is the reality on the ground? We want to see some of these houses with a rent agent.
Kwashi has seen it all when it comes to renting. Doing this for more than 30 years could only get better with time, but it's totally a different story. All his properties in the capital that seem relatively cheaper have all been rented out. From Nima to Kanda, Kokomlemle, Asalam Down, Adabraka, all the shelters have been occupied by lower to middle income earners. 30 plus years experience in renting has made him develop a soft spot for the youth who engage his services. He fears many may not be able to rent, not to talk of building their own houses.
Into properties, at times, who young up and coming guys are what person wale also up and down. Na me feel many because open neat one per your areas. Also say chairman or self-contained. It's about 2,000, 2,500, up to 3,000 per month.
Sometimes I feel pity for the youth in their pursuit of a decent accommodation. Rent charges in Osu for a decent chamber and hall is from 2,000 cedis to 2,500 and even 3,000 in a month. How much can you save after? It's only a miracle that can make the youth build their own homes.
They see there, hey, a miracle. Say you're up and coming. Between me and a city.
This 4-bedroom apartment located at Legon will be renting out at 4,000 cedis monthly when fully completed. Kwashi's bet is on high-income earners.
If estate agent for no, now they call landlord because estate agent because Mr. George Oscar. To me catch Mr. George Oscar residano na me commission here then and koso.
Lots of problems come from greedy agents. We complicate the matter by pursuing our own personal interest, compelling landlords to increase the rent for potential tenants.
You come for me to be JBCK. I know him very well. Say that way no.
Nambio is an online platform that allows users to explore, share and compare cost of living data worldwide. And if you go onto Nambio, Accra is the 5th most expensive city in Africa in terms of rent. And Accra's rent index of 12.0 also places it 230 in the world.
It's sad. It is really, really sad. If you're a young man, you're a young lady, you're a young family, you're starting up in life, the cost of rent is horrendous. When you go around Accra, you see many places for rent. But those are high class, expensive houses that are available. The kind of houses that are for lower middle class, bottom of the pyramid, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, not available. Even not enough of the face me, I face you, as we call it, houses. So what does that mean? It means that the landlords are in control. They can charge higher rent. After all, if you don't pay, somebody else will pay.
In Ghana, the law prohibits landlords from demanding more than 6 months rent in advance for long-term tenancies as stipulated in the Rent Act 1963, Act 220. While landlords are not legally allowed to demand more, tenants can voluntarily offer larger sums, though the law's enforcement is currently lacking. Many landlords continue to violate the provision, and with potential tenants fearing they might lose out, they make huge payments spanning over 2 years to secure their preferred house. It could be a relief for many, but financial expert Joe Jackson is convinced that 6 months cannot be legislated.
Read my lips. Nothing will change unless there are more houses available. Nothing will change. This is issue of the market. All you will do if you legislate 6 months is that you will drive the other now to become a black market. The agent will tell you, the government says 6 months, so we'll pay. But if you really want the house, bring the money quietly and come and give it to the landlord. He won't take anything less than 2 years. He will write a receipt for you for 6 months, but he will take 2 years from you. Nothing would have changed.
Airbnb is fast gaining momentum in Ghana, offering substantial income to those involved. This has had an adverse impact on renting, pushing property owners to increase rent charges for the ordinary Ghanaian. The median monthly earnings for an Airbnb are around $762, with high-performing properties earning over $1,443 and lower-performing ones earning about $331. Actual earnings vary significantly based on location, property quality, occupancy rate, and overall market conditions. A drive through the capital exposes some unoccupied apartments whose rent charges are a total put-off. $1,000 to $2,000 monthly for studio 1 and 2 bedroom apartments is prohibitive, considering income levels in Ghana. Property owners emphasize that quoting in dollars provides some financial security. Affordable housing is a government-supported priority, partnering with developers to build and subsidize projects. But these so-called affordable homes are most times beyond the reach of the working class in both public service and private sectors.
If all of us get it at a lower price, like all of us will be happy. But what is the situation now? The only problem now is it belongs to individuals, and they decide what to do. And now it's like that's the major boom for them. Because if you don't take it, the next person will take it, and you too, you need it.
Everything is for you, the tenant. When you are about to rent a room, even in the renting law, you are not supposed to rent more than 6 months. But here, like the case, we the tenant will feel we have more. You may have a room less price, and other person will come. Oh, I'll pay more than that. Then who don't want much money? At the end of the day, the landlord have to give it to the higher pay.
It's not easy. So if government can try to do something about it, I'll be glad. Because if you're a young guy and a monthly you are paying $600 for your rent, I don't know how much you get for the monthly. I don't know. Because if you have a wife and children, you pay school fees, you pay light and water. It's not easy.
Experts suggest that the issue about rent cannot be addressed until we bridge the housing deficit, which currently stands at approximately 1.8 million units as of 2021, a gap far exceeding the supply of new homes each year. And so whilst government does its part by beating down the prices for you and myself to be able to afford, we should also scale down our expectations. We should not expect marble or granite kitchens in an apartment that costs us 150,000 cedis or lesser.
I'll tell you some of the problems we have as Ghanaians. We'll say, the cement is too it's not good enough. When they use hollow blocks and it's not hard enough. Why? Is there a car coming to drive the house and impact the walls? In other jurisdictions, the walls are made of wood. Yeah. I can't ask for you to give me a house at 150,000 cedis and now demand granite rock for your walls, and then they will say no. Then they want a nice bathtub and finishing. The 150 cedis, it will even pay for the finishing you want.
With Ghana's housing deficit growing wider by the day, the government must take decisive action by partnering with the private sector to ensure that the housing needs of the population are addressed. Government policy should ensure the protection of the rights of the working class, making sure that their meager incomes are not strained. George Queenan, TV3 News, Accra.